passe super, l'artiste, super, encore un but sensationnel. That's a brilliant bit of follow-up play by Mahe. Oh my goodness me, what a shot.
Sagosen setter det hen! Han setter den! De er i semifinale igjen!
Hello everyone, welcome to the Uninformed Handball Hour and a special Morning Club edition. It's Chris O'Reilly here with you live from Alanya in the south coast of Türkiye, right in the middle of the EHF Beach Handball EURO 2025. And here the action very much heating up on and off the court. Sweltering temperatures, gorgeous weather out here. Almost too good if you ask some of the players at times, but it's been a brilliant tournament so far. And on Friday evening begins the knockout stages with the quarterfinals in both the men's and women's competitions. Semi-finals then on Saturday and the final games on Sunday. Well worth watching on EHF TV or whatever broadcaster is showing it in your country. I'll be with you on the commentary mic for all the big games now in Court 1. And before getting into that, I had a chat with some people here down on the beach side. We'll have a full podcast coming out next week as we explore the current state of this sport and the trends we're seeing, where it's going and where people hope it to go, both on a personal, national and then worldwide level. But for this morning club, there's two people in particular we're going to focus on. It's Gabriella Horváth, who is from the European Handball Federation, who has been on the executive committee and is also a great friend of the show as well. We had her on at the Women's Final Four a couple of years ago, and I had a chance to speak to her about what she's made of the tournament so far and those issues surrounding the sport. And also, I was focusing on one of the debutants at this championship in Malta. A very interesting country to see play at this Beach Handball Euro in the men's competition. And I had a chance to speak to Liam Harrison from that team about his first Beach Handball Euro experience and what they're hoping to achieve down in Malta. So we'll dive in with Liam first and then hop straight over to Gabby. Enjoy the chats. We're joined courtside here, lovely Alanya, by Liam Harrison. Liam, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Recovered, ready for tonight's game. So
yeah, it's day 4 for you guys. Malta in your first Beach Handball Euro in very special conditions, I would say, in the heat here. But I guess that's something you're used to down in Malta as well, right?
Exactly. I mean, for us, it's not really a disadvantage. I think sometimes it could be a bit of an advantage because we're used to the heat. So try to make the best use of it. However, it does take a toll on you as well physically. So playing day in, day out in this heat does take a good physical toll on you.
I think for people who are watching this tournament, would have been pleasantly surprised, I think, to see Malta at this championship. First, senior championship for the team. You had the second tier competition last year to qualify for this. Can you tell me a little bit about how the journey has been to get to this point even?
So it's been a very long process. As a national team, I think it was around 10 years ago. We participated in the first Mediterranean Beach Games, Pascara 2015. I was not part of that team back then. And then since then we participated in another 2 editions of the Med Games. Last year we had the Euro qualifiers and now we're finally here. So I think the journey has been great. We obviously have a lot to improve, as you can see from our performance, from the results we're getting, but we did come a long way as well. We lost some players, we got some new players. So we're looking forward to continue this journey ahead and hopefully in the next years be here again, get some results as we are aiming to do these coming 3 days and continue improving from there and put Malta on the list for beach handball.
You mentioned the results there. What was the target coming into this for the team? Because I guess there's a lot of unknowns. You may have come up against some of these teams in one way or another last year or at in your preparation for this, but at a championship like this, it feels like it goes to a whole other level. So what are the targets that you came into?
So as people saw from the group stage, we were drawn in a very difficult group, most probably the toughest group. So we had Poland, Croatia and Denmark, who are the 2 world champion finalists, and Poland were the European champions last edition, I believe. So this was a very tough group. We were realistic about it and saying that those will be tough games, but we gave it our best. With a very close second set against Poland, only lost by 2 or 3 points. So that was the game. We wanted to try and win a set, get to the shootout. But other than that, our target is to try and win 1 or 2 games in this consolation round. Win a set or 2, get to a shootout or 2. Our target is to get at least 1 win out of this, and from there hopefully keep pushing to get more results.
And how have you found now, it's day 4 of the competition you're playing this evening? Do you find it game after game that, I mean, you personally, maybe you can't say for the whole team, but for you personally, you feel like you're like belonging more and more every time, or like understanding the sport at this level?
No, for sure. Obviously, the more games we play, the better we're going to get automatically. Because I mean, that's the rule of practice. No, the more you do, the better you get at it if you do it well. So the more games we're playing from the first match up until yesterday, our performance for sure improved. Me personally as well, I'm playing a bit more defensively now. In the middle. So last year my role was a bit more offensively as a playmaker. This year we have more playmakers, so I can play a bit more defensively. For sure, I'm getting the hang of it more as more games pass by. But we need to play more games together. So throughout the years, in preparation for these tournaments, we need to be playing more games. We need to get more game experience. More experience making quick decisions with the ball in our hands, without the ball in our hands, moving defensively. So for sure we have improved these past 4 or 5 games, but we need more.
We had a short discussion there with Jacques, your teammate, about who was the tougher game, either Denmark or Croatia, and you both had your different opinions there. But like in general, what do you feel, what do you see is the big difference between like what you're used to playing at home or at a club level, and then coming up against these beasts at a European Championship?
So for sure, I believe the biggest difference is the ability to make decisions. So I think the decision making, the quick decision making with the ball, we're actually having this discussion between ourselves, and we're like, because we feel like we are physically slower, but even though physically maybe we are a bit slower than the other teams, I think it comes a lot from the ability to make a decision quick. So if you're not able to take a quick decision, you need to physically slow down to have more time to make the decision. So I think that's why I said we need to play more games, we need to be exposed to the game more, to develop that ability to take quick decisions with the ball in our hands. So the playmakers, the special players, and anyone really with the ball in their hands need to take that quick decision so that we can keep the game flowing and we have the right opportunity to score.
It feels like at this championship we're seeing a lot of variety in the way the teams are playing as well, and you know, you mentioned about the decision making seems to be the crucial thing, because physically every team is so different, right? You see teams like maybe Italy and Spain who have a bit more about the speed element. Portugal have a couple of big men in there, and then some teams rely on the almost a pure physicality, right? But there's many ways to kind of skin a cat in that regard. You can find solutions, and I guess for Malta and beach handball as well, this is like, you know, in comparison to indoor, where for a national team maybe you need to develop 30-40 players to have a squad to compete. For beach handball you need 10-12 players and 4 who can attack really well, and then you can maybe start to break through. Is that kind of what you as a handball community have figured out and are trying to put a bit more effort into the beach side?
Yes, of course. So obviously we know the limitation. We're not the tallest nation on earth, so physically that will be a challenge. However, I believe this year is one of the tallest teams we've had in the past few years in terms of size. But for sure we need to develop a bit more speed, a bit more game knowledge to try and beat the defense of the opposing teams in that way. But yes, as you mentioned, you don't need 30-40 players to develop a squad well. You need 10 players, 12, maybe 15 to be able to play in training. And from there we can really develop a good team over the coming years.
And how has it been the last couple of years in Malta with the sport? Like, have you found that players on the indoor side as well are taking some interest? I mean, this will obviously be a massive boost for the handball community to see you guys competing at a European Championship. Do you think that will also attract a few more players, or maybe a bit more attention in Malta as well? Because outside of beach handball as a sport, the whole sporting, let's say, context in Malta, not too many teams qualify for a major championship like this. So I guess that will also hopefully bring in a bit of investment and attention for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully our younger athletes in our clubs will get inspired to start training with us for beach handball, take it more seriously. I mean, the reality is that if you really want something, you have to work for it, no? So we have worked for it to come this far. Obviously, it's not the end of the journey, so we have to keep on working. We need the young ones to step up. We are getting older. I mean, I'm not that old, but we are.
You're 27, right?
27.
Yeah.
I've had like 10 years. But we do need the young players to start playing from now, so that they can learn the game and be better than we are now in 10 years' time. So yeah, we need to step it up. Hopefully, this will be a boost for the handball community in general. We are improving, we are growing, but we need more work for sure.
Seeing this whole tournament so far, are there any particular teams that have really stood out for you? Any teams that you think will go really deep in this competition on the men's side?
I think from what I've seen, I think Croatia and Denmark are still two of the strongest teams. Italy have impressed me, to be honest. I think they just beat France this morning on shootout. They beat Sweden on shootout as well, who are two very strong teams. We saw them play last year. We played against France last year. There are some very strong teams. I think Spain, to be honest, I expected a bit more. But obviously, I mean, you can never say you have one bad set, you lose the match on shootout, you're unlucky. So, but I think Denmark and Croatia are two of the strongest teams for sure. Sweden are up there as well, I believe. Nice. Very, very good attacking four on the outside. Sweden, very efficient with the passing and making the right decisions as well. So we'll see. But I believe Denmark and Croatia are the strongest teams.
Lovely. Liam Harrison, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Now, I think for the second time we've had you on the podcast, Gabi Horváth, who's here as, I guess, your main responsibility with the EHF as the main representative here at the Beach EURO. Also, a Hungarian beach handball expert and friend of the show as well. It's day 4 of the senior championship. You've been here since the youth as well, though, so you've been a long time in Alanya. How are you enjoying it?
I really like it. We have great weather, and also I think the Turkish Federation created a really nice venue for the competition, so we very much enjoy being here. And it was a lot of fun to watch the kids playing beach handball. I think it's really, really entertaining, and it's really nice to see how they are developing the sport and themselves, all the skillfulness and tactics and physical preparedness. The game is really, really entertaining, so I enjoyed it a lot. And now we are in a senior competition. This is always really exciting. And now we are ahead of the quarterfinals, so yeah. So we'll see.
We'll stick with the youth for a minute, because you mentioned there how well they're playing, and there's a few people I've spoken to who haven't been to a Beach EURO in a few years, either players or people who are working at it, who have maybe been away from like the sport at its closest level in maybe 4, 5, 6 years, and they were really kind of shocked to see the level. But I think now, really, since maybe Bulgaria 4 years ago, like you're seeing when it comes to the semi-finals and the finals, the way that they're playing, it could be an adult team playing, and they probably could beat some of the weaker teams in the senior competition. It really feels like these beach handball natives are like redefining the sport. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I think it's fair to say that. I also very much like to see that those kids that we were, or those youth players that we saw in a couple of last competitions, they are now key players in the adult championship. And when you say we stick a little bit to the youth, I think it's very, very important to point out that it's really entertaining to watch them playing. And I think it's a great proof that we played in the packed arena.
Yeah.
So it was like 2,000 spectators coming to watch the final games of the youth, and Well, I don't know if they could beat some of the weaker teams here, but I can assure that when we played one of those first Euros and World Championships, these youth teams, they would teach us a big lesson on beach handball.
And from a Hungarian perspective, it's going really well so far. We just saw the women just miss out on winning the group, but into the quarterfinals and in a strong position. The men also looking incredibly strong, and I mean, it's no surprise seeing what the teams have done in recent years. But from inside the Hungarian perspective, what do you think the difference has been? Like, has there been a real focus to drive from the youth up, or to maybe integrate? I mean, I know there's the men's team, they have Benson Naj, right, who's one of the top scorers for the last few years, indoor part of the squad. So what is the approach there, or is it a kind of a mixture of different things?
I think it's really important that the federation itself is 100% behind beach handball. So I think it's fundamental, because then those who see an opportunity in it, those pioneers and those followers of pioneers, can safely go into the game knowing that the federation is supporting. Also, when we talk about the national teams, then we try to give them the opportunities to come prepared for these tournaments, and we try to make also a big promotion in Hungary around beach handball, because I still feel a lack of curiosity from many of the coaches. And we have a beach handball show on TV, 10 episodes, and every summer, and on the national TV. So we really try to make a promotion in a way that people start to be curious around the sport, and also see its beauty and the opportunities that it brings to every coach, to every handball player, and also to the federation itself, because this is enhancing activities, and it can also talk to a different audience.
Yeah. From what you've seen so far, we have the final weekend ahead. Any particular teams in the men and women's side that have really impressed you, that you've really, or even surprised you in how they've played?
Well, I mean, those that are in the quarterfinal, most of them I follow for a long time. There are some surprises, like the Italian men team arrived to the quarterfinals, and it was fun to watch them. But I'm a big fan also of the German female team, to watch them, how they really were game changer with some of the tactical things that they introduced very consciously to beach handball. It really changed the game. But I mean, these teams are all fantastic to watch, and it's, the good thing about beach handball, it's really, really unpredictable what's gonna happen. So if you ask me if I have any favorite to win, I don't have any favorite. I have all these teams, and we see them arriving. Of course, there are some all-time strongs, but it's really, really unpredictable, and it can stay interesting until the very last moment. So that's also another thing why I would encourage people to get to know it.
Yeah, I mean, that group with Germany losing to Denmark, and hammering Norway, who then beat Denmark, and Germany holding France to 9 points in one set, and then the same happening to them. It's been a real, teams are definitely learning from each other as well, we feel like, and there are less and less secrets between these teams as well, which is fun to see how it plays out over such a short time, because the teams know each other so well, the players know each other so well, so there can be no excuses, almost just who delivers on that moment in these weather conditions, which can be quite extreme as well. It's fun to see how the players adapt.
Yes, it truly is, and it always comes down a little bit also on the depth of the sand, especially in the female competition. So of course this is a difference between indoor and beach, that you always have to adapt to the weather conditions and the venue's condition, which makes it again exciting in my opinion. And what concerns the weather, beach handball still is a really, really young game, and I think we have to do our best to understand it more and more. And this is why in the YA competition we run a research studying how the heat impacts the performance of the players. And I firmly believe that we also need to study the game as much as we can, because we know a lot about indoor handball now. We see that all the sports are developing through scientific researches, their own sport. So I think I'm really proud that we could do this now, and we already see some connections. I'm really looking forward to read the outcome of it, because the more we understand the sport, the more data we have, the better prepared teams we will have in the future. So that's a good team. Sorry if I directed.
No, it's a lovely. I think a lovely point.
A little bit. The question, but I think it was important to point it out that we're trying to do our homework also on research and understand the fundamentals of the game even deeper, so we can help the coaches and the player be even better prepared in the future.
So you said no favourites in the women, no double gold for Hungary. Prediction from you?
As a prediction, no. As a prediction, no. As a hope, as a Hungarian, of course. I mean, it would be lovely, but I just hope that they are doing really well. I hope that they will play the best they can, and when they play the best they can, I will be happy no matter what after the quarterfinals. I think also when you play your best, then whatever happens, you can still be proud and satisfied. What I always hated as a player, when I knew it wasn't my best or it wasn't the team's best and we underperformed. That's a difficult feeling and some sleepless nights. So I hope that they play their best.
Lovely way to finish it, Gabby Horváth. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you to Gabriella Horváth and to Liam Harrison. Some interesting chats there from very different perspectives on this championship, as well from a new player on the scene, on the beach handball scene, to somebody who's seen it all as a player and now as part of the EHF Executive. And that will do it for our extended morning club. Hope you enjoyed it. And for those of you who are listening on the normal feed, this is a bit unusual because we don't usually put the morning clubs out there, almost always exclusively on Patreon, on patreon.com/handball hour. But we put this one out for all to enjoy. And so if you want to catch more of those in the future, then please do subscribe, and we'll be back next week with a full look back at the Beach Handball Euro and some more perspectives on the state of the sport as it is today. Until then, everyone, take care and goodbye.